All right, this is pretty much a short cycle. Just a few minute video to see what the cycles are. We just had a decent rain. And I'm doing a functional chest on this thing. Basically cemented this sump in. Did a short pump. I don't get a whole lot of water. For the most part, it's clean. When it's undisturbed, I gotta vacuum this out one more time, but the water coming out of it is somewhat clean. I'm gonna take a look and see what the cycles are with a moderate rain outside. This pump runs all the time. I'm always getting water, but it does speed up a little bit when I get some water outside. I think my house is right next to, I think I'm right next to a spring. That's the other side of the garage. It's already prepped to cover back up. But this side, I haven't covered up yet until I get settled that I don't get no flooding up and above the footer here. We're just gonna wait and see how long it takes us to do a cycle. This just emptied a couple of seconds before I started this video, so I'll wait and take a look and see. Just something to note, that screen that's laying in there is basically keeping the water from flying up out of the top. It's got a breather hole on top of the small Harbor Freight pump that I put in here. You see that little hole right here under the label. And it does squirt up out of there enough to make the top of the tray wet. It's a real light spray, so we put that in there also. Video. I usually try to keep this thing in and this thing turned down just to kind of try to keep some of the water off the pump. Go ahead and put the screen back in. And again, it's just a deflection screen. It kind of keeps the water from flying up out of the top of the basin until I get this all sealed in. Approximately 2 minutes since the last cycle. Again, this isn't a heavy rain, it's a light rain. It's a 3-minute cycle. Takes about 5 seconds to pump it out. This basically I started because the one that was put in here was done wrong. It was on top of the footer instead of down next to the footer, which of course was allowing this wall to get wet. And I was starting to get the classic bow. There were some cracks in the wall. One there yet that I gotta fix. It's a stair crack. A lot of work to do in this basement, but for the most part, we're done. Let's take a look, see. Walk over here real quick. This is the half that I'd already sealed up the wall. There was a centerpiece that I'm going to use as a clean out. I'm in a clay environment, so I figured putting a clean out in the middle was a pretty good idea. I stuck it in with drainage rock and basically wrapped this pipes with a weed blocker, and from there filled the trench back up, and then laid a weed blocker, which I kind of used an asphalt paint, sort of like a fence post paint, if you would, just to kind of seal that to the side, so whatever water did come in from the weep holes in the block would hit that and be able to strain through. This is still going to get another layer of drainage rock and then some crush and run on top of that, followed by some sand. And then I'm going to kind of glue and place a piece of plastic the same way I did this felt and run it across. And that would hopefully help kind of lock the moisture down. But can't tell from the black paint, but this whole wall was extremely wet. It was wicking water pretty badly and holding a lot of water until I got the weep holes drilled. And now I've got the sump in, so not too bad. Some Harbor Freight stuff. I didn't want to go with a great big pump and make a big mess. I'm kind of working on a limited budget, but this is pulling the water out pretty good. Right around, I would say this is a $300 to $400 job, DIY. Well, that's all for now. Appreciate you guys taking a look. If you're interested, leave a comment, suggestions, what have you. Take care.